This football afternoon, Notre Dame University Stadium filled to capacity for the 107th consecutive time. Over 59,000 fans basking in warm September sunshine as the 1993 edition of the Notre Dame Fighting Irish and the Northwestern Wildcats of the Big Ten to do battle in this season's debut. The Irish ready to take the field beneath the fans that seat their compatriots, the student body. They're already in classes here at Notre Dame. Irish off a 10-1-1 season a year ago. Northwestern, 3 wins, 8 losses, but 3 very important victories in the Big Ten. They feel their program on the improve. And the Irish waiting for that final cue and will take the field for the first time in 1993. Sports presents Notre Dame football. The Wildcats of Northwestern against the 7th-ranked Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. Hello, everyone. Dick Danberg with Bob Trumpy. Welcome to the first of our 6-game home coverage of Notre Dame football. I guess, Bob, the way to start this season is to go back to last year. Gary Barnett working to rebuild the Northwestern football program. 3 victories last year. That's the most in the Big Ten in 20 years. That's a starting point for him. Lou Holtz surprised us yesterday when he said he thought his Notre Dame team, the last half of last year, was the best team he has ever coached. Now, that covers a national championship and other outstanding football teams. And Gary Barnett says, well, I guess it's simply this first game, a tradition against, what?
Hunger. Gary Barnett, among other coaches, have to be not only teachers but also salesmen. And Gary Barnett has told his players, look, forget the losing in the last 20 or 25 years. I want a few good men who believe. And last year he thinks that 3-8 record was just to start with what he can do with Northwestern.
And he does have a few good men, and here are a couple in particular that you'll enjoy watching today. The man on the left, number 2, Lee Gissendaner. He led the nation in punt returns, nearly 22 yards a carry, was the most valuable player in the Big Ten, Gissendaner. And Len Williams will be the man throwing, number 12. He's the quarterback. He's played in all 33 of the games in his 4 years at Northwestern, and it's a wide open offense.
Oh, is it ever? It certainly doesn't look like it belongs in the Big Ten. They use 3 wide receivers. They use 4, sometimes even 5. They call their offense at the line of scrimmage. That is, it's not a hurry up, but they read the defense and adjust the offense accordingly. It is very entertaining.
Coaches are salesmen, and Lou Holtz has been selling too.
He's got a real tough sales job. Off of the performance of his team last year, everyone knows all the people that Notre Dame lost. He's finally stated, look, I don't care who's not here. We got to go with the guys who are here. Well, he almost had one that he thought was a real keeper who was going to be his quarterback. Ron Paulus, a week ago, broke his collarbone. He's on the sideline, cannot play for several weeks. So today, the starting quarterback, Kevin McDougal, first time he's ever started for the Notre Dame Irish. He's going to play a little bit. We're not sure the rotation, but Paul Fela will follow him. Neither guy has ever started a college football game, Dick.
Yeah, one of the great positions in all of college football is quarterback, and then to be Notre Dame quarterback, and that still is in some doubt as we open this 1993 year. We'll have the opening kickoff from South Bend, Indiana, after these words from your local station. Welcome back to Notre Dame, the Irish and the Northwestern Wildcats, and we're pleased once again on the field for his reportage, John Dockery.
Thank you, Dick. I just spoke to the Irish offensive coaches. Let me share some of the detail on the Irish quarterback shuffle. As you mentioned, Kevin McDougal is the starting quarterback. He'll play the first 3 series. Then, if all goes according to plan, Paul Fela will enter the game on the 4th series. He'll play 2 or 3 series. If they stay even, the rotation will continue. But what Lou Holtz is simply hoping is that one of them steps forward and says, hey, I am the quarterback of the Irish, seizes the job, and takes control of the situation. Biggest question for the Irish here today, the quarterback situation. Back to you, Dick.
All right, and on the other sidelines, Len Williams, the senior quarterback, eagerly waiting his chance. He'll be on the field first as Northwestern has won the toss and will receive. Kevin Pendergast to kick it off for the Irish, number 12, and deep to return, Gissendaner. potential Heisman winner, along with freshman Eric Scott. Pendergast to the freshman Scott, and Gibson Dana says taking it to the 20-yard line. Good kickoff. They keep it away from Gibson Dana, the Big Ten most valuable player. The Wildcats offensively line up this way. Nano, Dwyer, some feel he's as good as any tackle in the country. Kozlowski, Johnson, Patchett, and Bazek, the offensive line. They're big. Len Williams, a solid quarterback, led the Big Ten in total yards offense. Dennis Lundy is the runner. Gibson Dana, the man that the Irish defense fears. Setters has the speed. Chris Campbell is solid, and Luther Moss, the tight end, figures to get plenty of chances. The Irish strength this year, the defensive side of the ball. They're basically all veterans, none of them seniors. Williams fakes to Lundy, throws to the tight end. Morris intercepted. It's going to go for a touchdown. Pete Bursich, Notre Dame on the first play of the game. Oh, my. Touchdown and a nightmare for Northwestern coach Gary Barnett. But every underdog coach fears a big play by the opposition, and it comes on the first scrimmage play of the game. And now Pendergast with a try for a point. It's good. 8 seconds into the game, Notre Dame leads 7-0.
Concerned about the scoring ability of his football team. I don't think even he expected the first touchdown to come defensively. Here's Bursich. This is a great play action fake. The tight end comes out. If he catches the ball, he's got a nice pickup. But Bursich, he's very honest. He stays in his spot. This ball bounces off the tight end's hand. Then it comes close to catching it, and Bursich runs it in.
21 yards, Bob.
Dick, you can bet that this is a special play that Northwestern put in for the first play of the game here. Looking at Notre Dame's defense, they had the nickel package in. They wanted to get a tight end on a linebacker. If the tight end catches the football, he's going to make 10 or 12 or 15 yards. And then Williams is saying, man, we ran that thing 20 times in practice this week, and the tight end always caught it.
Lucas doing through his hands and right off his face mask, and as if ordained in Bursich's arms. And Pete Bursich, the senior from Keene, Illinois. His father played linebacker for Michigan State. It'll be Michigan State here in a couple of weeks.
I gotta be honest.
7-0 Notre Dame. Pendergast knows the routine. Gibson Dana at the 4. Picked up as he hits the 20-yard line. Downfield for the Irish to make the stop. Number 34, Ray Zellers, the starting fullback. Williams will try to get some order in that Northwestern huddle. Try to forget that first play happened.
And Dick, you see them assembling on the sideline so that they can try to confuse the Irish defense here as best they possibly can. But the Irish, they're going, well, they've got the linebacker in. They're not going with the nickel package on this series.
Triple wide formation. Dragged down in the backfield by Oliver Gibson as Len Williams. It appeared to be a miscommunication. He was looking for someone that wasn't there.
Now, this offense at Northwestern is an offense where it's an either-or. It's an option offense. Play is called in the huddle. They go to the line of scrimmage, and then the quarterback, it's all on his shoulders. He must read what the defense shows him and call the right play. Someone missed the play completely because Gibson wasn't even touched. Watch the hand signals here, trying to deliver the message to everybody out flank wide.
And to give the run to your running back, number 34, and he gets a couple of yards back to the 20-yard line where he smothered Bobby Taylor and came up from the corner, number 21.
Well, this is not a good start for Northwestern's offense. And, of course, season we're seeing the defense. They spread the offense out, make them run sideline to sideline, make a key interception. That's what Lou Holtz is hoping this team does.
It'll be 3rd down and 11. As little Patrick Wright, and he is short. 5'3" is the man behind quarterback Glenn Williams. Triple left formation. And the give is to Wright. He splits through a big hole and lays out to the 32-yard line. Looks to be close to a first down. We're going to mark it at the 31, and that may be at the level of a measurement. As Wright shooting through a good-sized hole for an 11-yard gain and a first down.
Well, they tricked him. They put all those receivers there. Right with the ball right at you. This is straight ahead blocking. Nice little delay. Excellent job by
John Covington. He may have saved the touchdown.
I was going to say the excellent job by the offensive line of selling that draw play. Looked like they set up and passed. Did a great job. Convinced Notre Dame to get across the line of scrimmage. The hole opens up.
Williams sends Lundy in motion. They're no one in the backfield. Great catch by Gissendahl, who had to twist back to grab the ball at the 39. Shaking hands with this young man a couple of days ago at the Northwestern campus. He's not very tall, but he has the hands of a tight end.
Excellent. He's the inside receiver in this formation. They like this offense to function underneath. Anthony Peterson makes the hit. You'll find Gissendahl in the traffic. He's not particularly big, Gissendahl, but he will make the tough catch. He doesn't mind getting hit.
Patrick Wright is 5'3", Gissendahl 5'9". Triple left.
Notre Dame's had a little trouble here deciding what the strength of the formation offensively is.
2nd and 2. Lundy outside. And has another first down as he is out of bounds at the Northwestern 46-yard line. Chris Gamble with a good block downfield to assist Lundy. Jeff Burris made the stop. Lundy from Tampa, Florida. Grew up a Houston Oilers fan, and that he spent early part of his schooling in that Texas City. It's 5'9" and 187.
Now this is what teams are going to see from Northwestern all season long. I mean, they substitute wildly, as their coach Gary Burnett says. Never really sure who's on the field.
Triple right formation, 2 wide receivers, and now Lundy in motion. From the Northwestern 46, good protection, and then Williams has to scramble out of trouble and gains a yard or 2 out to about the 47.5. Williams from Rockford, Illinois. Where's that number 12? Because his idol was Terry Bradshaw, the Steelers.
Dick, look at what happens when the backfield empties. Watch Patrick Wright. He's the little guy. This is Bursic, the linebacker. He was the intended receiver. Bursic is so big. Wright is so small. Watch what happens when the backfield empties. Now watch the contact here. Just one little hit. Wright goes down. That was the primary receiver. Williams had to eat the ball.
To the running back Lundy's in Notre Dame territory. Gets a shielding block. Dives to the 40. Good play by Gamble. Gave his receiver another 5 yards with that block. 12-yard play for Northwestern.
They catch Notre Dame in a blitz off the corner. Good quick read by Williams. There you see 17 McGee on the blitz. Now watch the block by the flanker out here. Excellent job done by the flanker. Gamble gives Lundy a little more room. If he keeps his feet, he might still be running.
Rushing Irish, but fortunately for Northwestern, there was a white jersey on it. Lundy may have recovered his own mistake. Barnett just his arms over his head in that posture. No.
Now, this is not the kind of start he wanted. Interception return for best out of fumble. This is an efficient offense, but it's has problems on 3rd down, and they will put the ball on the ground. So hanging on to it, anytime somebody puts it on the ground, drives the head coach crazy.
Gibson down to the right. That's Robinson 19. The Winfield it's centers the fastest of the Wildcat receivers to the 29. Here's appears to be another Northwestern first down. 13 on the play.
It's the same play. This time Centers is the receiver. And you see how deep the Notre Dame defense is. An excellent read by the quarterback. And there's no one out there on Centers. And he's just catching and running straight up the field. Now what they're trying to do is when Notre Dame goes with the linebacker Wynn, number 49 in the lineup, they go with that. They're bringing in McGee. Brian McGee is the best defensive back. Then they go to something else. That's the beauty. There's where he'll alternate with McGee. He's a true linebacker. He is a defensive back. Both playing the game at the same time.
10th play of the drive as Lynn Williams, the quarterback, and this offense was throwing order after the quick strike on the touchdown. Williams, that looked to be either run all the way or a terrible misconnection as Williams slams down the ball. It appears that one of his players was not what he had expected. Bryant Young down, the All-America candidate at tackle for the Irish.
Rick, that looked like a quarterback draw that got messed up.
Timeout, 9:13 left, opening quarter. The Irish by a touchdown. Welcome back to this glorious day in Northwestern Indiana. Notre Dame leading on Pete Bursic's touchdown with an interception, 21 yards, opening play of the game. But Northwestern now has marched 50 yards in 10 plays. It's 2nd and 10 at the Irish 29-yard line. Bryant Young appears to be all right. The 93 Paul Smith from Jenison, Michigan has replaced him. 3 for 3 on this drive. Getting pushed down at about the 27 of Notre Dame after a couple of yards. It was Bursic there, 47, and others.
Did you see the end of that play? Most quarterbacks would just run out of bounds. Williams trying to get a foot or a yard more. He stayed right inbounds there. Tough kid making his 34th straight start.
A gain of 2.
They marked the ball at the 26-yard line. Williams getting the play from the sidelines. They will audible more than half the time, the Northwestern offense. Williams will come up with this widespread pass-oriented attack and read the defense and audible the play as he is doing that.
Well, quarterback draw works here.
But the Irish defense is there to sack him for the second time at the 35. Bryant Young out just one play with Jim Flanagan. Collaborate on the sack.
Oh, he missed the running back. Dennis Lundy was on the sideline, absolutely wide open. He's looking the right way. You might see Lundy down here in the corner. There he is, standing wide open. But there was just too much pressure from the backside too quickly for Flanagan. Got him, Young got him. Couldn't find Lundy.
Northwestern throughout last year used a lot of trick plays, and that's Williams, the back. They'll pass out of this formation. Takes a Northwestern bounce and will be down at about the 3-yard line. So it becomes an excellent kick. Ball out to the end zone. The Irish will have it when they return inside their 5-yard line.
7:12 to go in the first quarter. The first time the offense takes the field. And they lead 7-0.
Notre Dame's offense, more than half the opening quarter has been spent, and they take the field finally. Taylor, Ziegler, Ruddy, Lyle, and Norman, the 2 tackles, were guards last year, moved out to tackle. McDougall makes his first start. He's from Pompano Beach, Florida. Senior Lee Beckton and Ray Zellers. The running backs, Lake Dawson, the veteran, and Greg Mays. The wide receivers, Oscar McBride, takes over at tight end. In this first sequence, we see number 8, Cliff Johnson, wide receiver. From the 4-yard line, McDougall professed us he wants to throw the ball. The Oaks will let him do it. Hampton is hit as he hits a 5-yard line. The ball carrier for Notre Dame flags of the play. John Hellebush, number 79, the defensive tackle, making contact. Big East officiating crew today. Referee's Tom Fenner.
Penalty is a clip against Notre
Clipping
Dame.
is the call against Notre Dame. Might have been one of the wide receivers.
Clipping, offense, penalty is refused, 2nd down.
I think you called it, Dick. I think you got it. That's why Johnson was in there. completion for that quarterback. I mean, Lou Holtz told us last night that this kid is cool and calm. I don't want anybody taking his blood pressure. It's not thrown well. He goes to the veteran Dawson. Dawson makes a great adjustment, but that is a huge completion for that kid.
Dawson who led the Irish last year with 25 catches. First down and then to the 17, and Summers gets his first call. Rolls out to the 23 and a gain of 6 as Chris Martin, the quarterback, makes the tackle.
Martin on the tackle.
One thing that Lou Holtz told us last night in our conversation that I'm certainly surprised that he said, but it's worth repeating. He said, this is going to be a boring offense. We are taking no chances.
If the play's called off tackle, you're going off tackle. Even if there's a hole somewhere else, I want you running there. Second and 4. Zellers again, the fullback, and he's close to a first down. Zellers from Pittsburgh, 5'11" and 218 pounds, replacing Jerome Bettis, who will be lugging the leather for the Los Angeles Rams this year.
Reaping the rights of the tackle.
Lou said, you know, I allowed Jerome Bettis and Reggie Brooks and Rick Meyer to make adjustments.
First down, Irish.
These kids, no adjustments. If I say run between the guard's shoulder blades, be between his shoulder blades, or tell me why you weren't.
Dean Lytle, number 7, replaces Zellers at fullback. Lytle from North Carolina. He's 6'3", 240-pound senior. First down. William Bennett 20 in on the tackle. Well, they check the penalty. Here is the Northwestern defensive side of the ball. The weakness of this team last year. They were hundreds out of 107 Division I schools. Curry, Koziel, Hellebush, the front 3. Warren, Williams, Ostrowski, the leading tackler, shines the big play man, number 80. Defensive backfield, Ray and Martin were on offense last year. Their speed moved to defense at the corners. Corey Singleton and William Bennett, a very promising sophomore safety.
And then here's the face mask penalty. It's a 15-yarder. You see Bennett with the hand on his face mask. So good field position now for Notre Dame.
At the 44. Number 35, a senior from Aurora, Illinois.
I don't think there's any secret here to what Northwestern wants to do defensively, and that is cheat 8 guys to the line of scrimmage. One extra guy, either a safety or a corner, and make McDougal throw the football. They're going to try to entice them into throwing the football by just covering every gap on that Notre Dame offense.
Maines far to the right, with Miller in the slot. Play by Martin to strip it away.
The only thing wrong with this play was it thrown a little late, but McDougal threw it well. 2 feet on, I don't know, 1 foot on the ground. That was pretty close, but the officials say no, it's an incomplete pass. McDougal told us he loves to throw, like you said earlier. He has a great delivery, good spin on the football.
Looks for Mike Miller, who was the Texas sprint champion in high school, 100 and 200 meters. Highly recruited a couple of years ago, became homesick, left, returned to Missouri City, Texas, and then decided he wanted to be a Notre Dame student after all.
Pitch and go. Miller does go by the defender. McDougal will learn, I think, with a little experience, put a little more air underneath that ball, allow the receiver to run under it. But it was almost a big completion.
Obviously, Grissom, one of his specialties, look at that, 21.8 average to lead the nation last year. Often with very little blocking, a 10-man rush, and he just do it on his own. Leonard is a beauty, and Grissom calls for the fair catch, and he goes into the end zone. So that did confuse that back to the arena that Rockne constructed back in 1930, Notre Dame Stadium, and there's talk of expansion to around 80,000. Nothing official, but it does seem apparent that before the next century, another 30,000, 20,000 will be accommodated here for football at Notre Dame. Glenn Williams, a quarterback, is 3 for 4. All 4 have been caught, 3 by his teammates, and the 4th should have been. But Luther Morris had to go off his hands and his helmet into the waiting lines of Bursic for the Notre Dame touchdown. 7-0, 4:08 left in the first quarter. Gets around the corner and is out of bounds at the 25-yard line.
Nice lead block by Billy Greenwald here. You'd see it coming right at you, right outside the tight end. They hook the defensive end, Hamilton. And Lundy, a tough kid, able to take the hit. John Covington knocks him out of bounds, but 5-yard pickup. Keep the defense honest, run something.
Lundy 4 carries for 13 yards. Has a chance as a junior to set the all-time rushing record at Northwestern. He's had a couple of good years as a freshman himself. Triple left. 2nd and 5. Lundy again. And Notre Dame is there after a couple-yard pickup. Anthony Peterson of Monongahela, Pennsylvania, assisted by Jeff Morris, number 9. Wearing that 9 that Tony Rice carried. They're both from Rock Hill, South Carolina. He's a Northwestern man. Here's Burris. He went to Northwestern High School there in Rock Hill.
Rely a great deal on Burris. He's the real heady guy back here in that defensive backfield. They can put young kids around him, and he seems the one that keeps it all together. Great hitter, too.
3rd and 3 for Northwestern. They're to the 27. Trailing 7 in the opening quarter. Protection for Williams, and they go to Lundy along the sidelines, and he has a first down at the 41-yard line. 14 yards for Dennis Lundy, who caught 30 passes last year.
Well, Notre Dame hasn't figured this out yet. The backfield is empty. Here is Lundy out here. We're going to zone here and zone here. And Williams just throws it right out to him. Yeah, they're going to have to do something to get someone out there. And taking advantage, it looks like the side they're throwing it to, Dick, in those formations is to the linebacker side, Bursic.
Lundy goes out. And you saw number 3, Patrick Wright, who will both line up as a wide receiver or in the backfield. He's in the backfield this time. Northwestern has moved the football much as they did last year when these two teams met at Soldier Field, and Len Williams doesn't like what he sees and calls a timeout. 3:10 left in the first quarter. Gary Barnett's Wildcats trail 7-0.
Welcome back to Notre Dame Stadium, and people are asking the question, just how good is Northwestern wide receiver Lee Gissendaner? Well, he was good enough last year to win the Silver Football Award as the most valuable player in the Big Ten. Now, only 4 other Wildcats have received that honor. Center Tim Lowry in 1925, the legendary Otto Graham in the 40s, and Art Murakowski, the running back who helped lead Northwestern over Cal in the 49 Rose Bowl, and also Mike Adamley, of course. And Dick, you know what strikes me about this? You look at his statistics last year. Gissendaner, 68 catches, 846 yards. That was better than Desmond Howard and Tim Brown when they won their Heisman Trophy. So this is a fine wide receiver.
Gissendaner is work him from the inside. First down at the 41 Northwestern. Lundy vaults for 4 yards to the 45-yard line. For Gary Barnett, his team has moved the football offensively. That was predicted, and his concern was the defense, but he bolstered the Northwestern defense. For Lou Holtz, just the opposite. Very confident in his senior defense. They'll shut him out if they have to, Lou feels. And the offense being rebuilt, that's his focal point this year. 2nd down, 6. Backfield now. So you got 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Williams deep down the middle. Gissendaner, his 100th catch as a Northwestern Wildcat, is a first down at the Irish 43-yard line. Jeff Burris with the tackle.
Oh, well done. Williams looked all over the field, Dick. Gissendaner is going to come from the left-hand side of the screen. You see the quarterback look out to the left. That's where Lundy has been. It opens wide up. McGee was the closest man in coverage. And finally, Burris does make the stop. Notre Dame is going zone against this flood formation. And Northwestern Steinman holds it.
2:14 left in this first quarter. Irish lead 7-0 on a pass interception touchdown by Burchett. A little Patrick Wright draws a Notre Dame crowd after a gain of maybe a yard. It's tough to find in there, right? 5 feet 3 inches amongst the Irish behemoths.
He's a two-sport player, Patrick Wright. You know, he's a leadoff man for the Northwestern baseball team. Center fielder, 5 foot 3 inches tall, 157 pounds. That's what he admits to.
Sidelines to Lundy. It gets to the 40 in the grasp of Burchett. A short game, a dangerous pass. Here, Burchett had a play on it.
But Burchett was looking at the receiver, not the quarterback. So I think the quarterback, Williams, realized that and had his chance. It looks like Northwestern is going to say, hey, fellas, until you cover this empty backfield, we're going to keep using it. Now, come up with something else, and it looks like the something else might be 2 extra defensive backs in the ball game. Let's see when they disperse here exactly what's going on, but everything has 6 defensive backs in the ball game.
McGee with a clock in there as well. On 3rd down and 7. Williams gets it incomplete, and Bobby Taylor makes the play defensively. It's going to be called interference, however. The intended receiver was Chris Gamble, number 1.
Dick, that was a good call. He got his left arm around him.
And they'll mark that on the penalty against the Irish that will move Northwestern into field goal range.
Watch the right arm of the cornerback. Yeah, there's no question. And of course, the official is behind that action, and he can see the arm wrapped around him. Flag thrown. It was late, but I think that's a legitimate call.
Pass interference against the defense. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Taylor from Longview, Texas, is daddy, Olympic gold and silver medalist in 1972 as a sprinter. Robert Taylor, second in the 100 meters to Valerie Bortzoff. 11-yard penalty. The 29-yard first down Northwestern.
See, look at Notre Dame's defense here. They're having trouble deciding exactly who's going to go with whom on this offense. You see, Burris, number 9, there's a lot of motioning going on. Which way do you want us to favor the wide side? Do you want the strength of the formation? That's what the Northwestern
It's on your local station. Welcome back to Notre Dame. Dick Enberg with Bob Trumpy, John Dockery. First of our 6 telecasts during this Notre Dame season, and they're already talking about Florida State here late in the year. And the feeling is that Ron Price, the sensational freshman, the high school player of the year, who with Pennsylvania a year ago, out with a broken collarbone, might well be a part of the Notre Dame offense at that time. Today it's Northwestern, and the Irish have a pass interception by Gorsuch. First play of the game, 28 yards for a touchdown. Lead 7-0 as we open the second quarter. 3rd and 9 for Williams. Good protection, flag down, and it's caught by Gissendaner, but it appears that's going to be called back. 12 yards if.
It's against Northwestern.
Protection was good, too good. That's one.
Danny Barnett and his offensive staff have figured out something. Notre Dame, what are you going to do with this empty backfield? You're going to play zone? We think our receivers, and they've got small, quick receivers like Patrick Wright, Gissendaner.
Holding, offense, 10-yard penalty, from the spot of foul, repeat 3rd down.
That penalty taking Northwestern out of any possible field goal range. It brings up a 3rd and 21.
Wow. The total yards and the number of plays for the two teams. Northwestern's got almost 3 times 23 to 8 in favor of Northwestern. Plays run.
First play of the game. Gorsuch found a deflection in his lap for an easy 21-yard touchdown. That's been the Irish scoring. And Northwestern a couple of long drives, but nothing yet. Screen underneath, and it's Gissendaner to the 34. Brian McGee, an expert defensive back, to make the tackle. The sophomore from Largo, Florida.
That was well played by Notre Dame.
Hey, John, they're trying to use him like they used
That little flanker screen that Bobby Bowden made so famous.
And lifting off Anthony Peterson, replaced by Justin Goheen.
Anthony Peterson shaking up on the play for Notre Dame.
As you see other scores from around the country in this first full weekend of college football. 2 weeks hence, we'll be back here in Notre Dame. George Perlis's Michigan State Spartans will provide the opposition. Brian Leahy, the field goal kicker, is in. And if they try one, and they have a fake out of every formation, it would be 51 yards. Leahy's longest is 47. Mike Centers, a wide receiver, is the holder. Wind is a crosswind. He gets it up, but it's going to be way short. So Notre Dame will take over at the 34-yard line. A reminder, tomorrow NFL Live makes its 1993 debut. Mike Ditka is off the sidelines into our studio, bringing with him his insights into the NFL. Jim Lampley, O.J. Simpson, Will McConnell all aboard. And we'll take a look at 3-time Super Bowl MVP Joe Montana, the former Notre Dame All-America. He's back as an NFL starting quarterback now with the Kansas City Chiefs. Don't miss an inside look at one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. All tomorrow. It begins at 12:30 Eastern. Check your listings for the game in your area. McDougal gives to Beckman, and Beckman to the 38-yard line. Williams and others with the tackles. You look at Len Williams, a bit frustrated. He's had a couple of good offensive drives into Notre Dame territory, but comes away empty.
Dick, you talk about frustration. John Dockery told us that McDougal's going to take the first 3 drives, and Phelan's going to take over for Notre Dame. I don't think we were expecting those 3 drives to last almost the first half. I mean, it's 13:30 to go. This is just the second time Notre Dame touched the ball.
Some early duty for Notre Dame. Kinder from East Lansing, Michigan, a 205-pound freshman.
Frankly, this offense is not getting the push out of the offensive line that I think they expected. You see, there's 2 guys there for Northwestern to make the tackle. We've got 2 very young offensive guys. I'm saying it's their responsibility, but the experience is at center and 2 tackles.
Michigan high school record with 2,400 yards rushing as a senior and 34 touchdowns. Newhold's forward with a foul, going for it, 4th and 1, but now sends in the punting team.
Goodness. There's a lot of revamping going on the sideline here defensively, adjusting to this Northwestern offense, and Newhold's talking to his offensive lineman and said, gentlemen, what are we doing here?
Gissendaner waits at the Northwestern 15-yard line. He's Leonard's second punt. And the clock runs out, and they'll take the delay 5-yard penalty against Notre Dame.
By the way, you're talking what a great athlete Gissendaner is. He scored running, receiving, kickoff return, punt return, all-around nice guy. Will sweep up after the over if you're wanting to. This guy is Mr. Complete.
That's like your blind date having cute ears. Yeah, all-around nice guy. Well, Gissendaner comes from a football background. His dad was a football coach, coached under Don James at Kent State. That's where he grew up as a youngster. He now moves up to the 20, and Leonard ready to move out his second punt. For the right side of his foot. Takes an Irish roll.
Goodness.
Look at the Irish to the 22. 11 minutes, 52 seconds remaining in the first half of Notre Dame.
The ball rolled
Irish
out of bounds. To the 23.
Okay, once again. Go Irish #1. Do it. Yay!
Favor the Irish. 7-0 Notre Dame on Bursich's touchdown of 21 yards. Northwestern, however, is dominated offensively without scoring. And they take over after a 40-yard punt by Leonard from the 27. Williams looks for Gissendaner, but how many Irish were running? 7 Irish uniforms were within 5 yards of Gissendaner when that ball hit the ground.
It impresses me that Gissendaner is the most valuable player in the Big Ten last year on a 3-8 football team. It tells you how much influence he has on other coaches in the Big Ten.
Northwestern's 3 wins coming in against Big Ten opponents, Purdue, Illinois, and knocked Wisconsin out of a bowl game in the final game of the year. Chuck Robinson, 19, now the wing back behind Williams. 7 for 10. This opening Bill's on the Robinson. Slips outside. Nice running by the 163-pound junior from Morton, Pennsylvania.
Northwestern is doing a very good job of playing with Notre Dame's mind here. The last play they ran had 2 tight ends. Now count the defensive backs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there's only 6 guys to run against, so they run it. They don't throw it. They've got the nickel package in there, and you see you can get a hat on everybody on the defense, so they run it. I'm telling you, Notre Dame has got to figure out some way to dictate more what Northwestern can't do than what they can do in this game.
56-year-old Leo Holtz in his 8th year here at Notre Dame. Even he has somewhat of a puzzled expression as the measurement shows Northwestern short by a couple of links of the chain. 3rd down. Well, this is unlike any offense that the Big Ten Conference has ever seen.
If it's successful, they may outlaw it just because this is 3 yards in the cloud of dust no matter what. That decade.
What would Woody Hayes think?
Oh, he wouldn't even play it.
Williams, the next fullback, is the quarterback. And Robinson behind him, 3rd and short. Just looking for the run. And Williams sneaks it ahead, and it looks as if he had enough penetration to get the first down. Yes, they mark it at the 33.5. Barnett, whose coaching background as a head coach, just a couple of years in Durango, Colorado at Fort Lewis College. Then he moved to Boulder and was an assistant under Bill McCartney with the University of Colorado, and involved in a couple of great teams. One that won the national championship. We saw them in a couple of Orange Bowl games against Notre Dame. And his job, more than anything else, is to build a whole new mindset and to think differently about opportunity. And as a full-time psychologist,
I thought it interesting his choice was to take his team to a summer camp. They went up to Kenosha, Wisconsin for a couple of weeks to train in the summer. No television, no radio, no girlfriend, no fast food. It was football from sunrise to sunset.
And then he played wide receiver for Dan Devine at the University of Missouri as a backup to the great Noel Gray there in the late 60s. First down. 11 minutes to go in the first half. Notre Dame leads 7-0. Williams to take the ball. There's the open distance down. First down near midfield.
This is an offense that is really going to put some pressure on folks throughout the course of this year. And you could bet opponents at Northwestern are really going to be studying this film.
And Dick, he threw the ball to Gissendaner, but there were 3 receivers open. All these guys are doing are just running seams up in the dead spot in the zone. Notre Dame continues to run the zone. They're reading it well. Northwestern is 4 catches, 41 yards. As long as they play zone and there's good protection.
And the quarterback and receiver have to be reading on the same page. Robinson tripped up as he just crosses into Notre Dame territory. A yard-and-a-half gain. Bryant Young, another play.
Robinson takes the ball to midfield.
Barnett also told us about this offense that it's an offense that you have to be patient with. And it's all on the quarterback's shoulders, and he can't get too rambunctious and try to throw the ball deep. This is an underneath offense, and you take what the defense gives you, and you stay with those rules, and the offense will function. To this point, been absolutely correct.
And Williams is 8 for 11, 82 yards, 1 interception, but that was not his fault. Bounced right through the hands of his tight end Morris. Sidelines, flag down. The catch made by Robinson, who was hit immediately by Greg Lane. And it appeared there was early movement by Northwestern. Now Williams, Len Williams, is pointing at Notre Dame. They were the ones offside.
You know what Notre Dame's choice here defensively has been? They keep changing personnel in that defensive backfield. I don't think it's the personnel. They're going to have to take some chances and go with some man coverage, Dick. See here.
Enforcement, defense, 5-yard penalty, second down.
You got the defensive end just a little too anxious there. And he got caught.
Jim Flanagan. So it's 2nd and 4. Here's the 50-yard line to dissects the football. The numbers for the senior Williams. He considered the University of Illinois coming out of high school, but thought by going to Northwestern, not only that great education, but a chance to play earlier. Indeed, has been playing since a freshman. Robinson cut off at the pass and smothered for a yard loss. Oliver Gibson and Jeff Burris. It was Burris streaking up from a defensive back position to make the play first.
Well, they're making Notre Dame do something they don't want to. Burris is coming on a blitz. That's why he's there to make the tackle. The 7 centers can't make a block on him. Notre Dame is now beginning to take a few chances defensively.
3rd and 5. The ball to the Irish 46.
There's Burris. South Carolina Player of the Year 2 times at Rock Hill. Followed by Tony Rice, who was the quarterback of the national championship team.
Here we go. Let's go.
Robinson gives them 5 wide receivers. Good protection again. Now breaks down. Williams, tough runner. On the way to the 39 and a first down. He ran like that fullback yesteryear.
He is a quarterback in name only. His attitude is that of a fullback. Again with the empty backfield, I mean, he's on his own back there. There's decent pressure by Notre Dame. When he squats out of the pocket, you see Young almost gets him. And then 90, Hamilton gets chipped. Puts his head down again. That's the 2nd time we've seen him put his head down.
Needed 5, got 7. In front of his father and his young daughter here at Notre Dame today. First down, Northwestern at the 39 with 8 minutes to go in the half. Notre Dame 7-10. Williams for the sack. Deferred today by the Irish. Thomas Knight, a sophomore from Memphis, Tennessee, number 96. His first career sack.
I think it looks like that's what Notre Dame is going to have to do. Pay a little more attention to the pass rush. They Defensive tackle goes inside. Grasmanis goes outside. Defensive end came inside. They're running a stunt to get pressure on Williams, and it worked.
Something that the Irish have been working on feverishly to build up that sack count. They had 36 last year, 3 times more than 91. They've shown good pressure times today. 2nd and 16 for Williams, an inside handoff, and little Panther to right doesn't get far. The flag is down. Brian McGee with a tackle, and the penalty is against Northwestern for motion. But with such a short gain, Notre Dame might elect to decline this one.
Well, they've shown a lot of offense here, haven't they? That was the counter.
Illegal substitution against the offense. Flag ball foul. Penalty is refused.
So that a late one, trying to trick him.
So 3rd down and 16 as the Irish decline the penalty. And Wright, the little wide receiver, goes off limping. So big yardage facing Williams on 3rd down. Another 10-play drive. 3 drives other than the first that ended in the first play interception have been long ones for Northwestern. Underneath he goes. Luther Morris can't hang on, and broken up by Greg Lane. Lane had his hands on it, made it tough for Morris.
That was a very good coverage. I'm surprised that Williams would go back to Luther Morris today. He had one bounce off his hands, go for a touchdown the other way, but he gets another chance. Boy, Lane
close to getting 6 himself. He had a beat on that one going the other way.
That was very close.
Oh, in comes Paul Burton. His father was a great All-America running back at Northwestern. Ron Burton in the late 50s. He's a walk-on. Mike Miller deep for Notre Dame. Beautiful high kick. Another fair catch at the 12-yard line. So the Irish have the ball. 6:39 to go in the opening half. Land of the Leprechaun. The Irish have not been so lucky in terms of ball possession. 5 minutes, 11 seconds is all they've had the ball. And Kevin McDougal 1 for 3, 11 yards. Running game not doing much, but as expected, this no surprise to McDougal. Paul Phelan takes over at quarterback, a junior from Pittsburgh. He's a 2-sport star. Shortstop, switch hitter, outstanding prospect. Kansas City Royals drafted him, offered him $200,000, elected to go to Notre Dame instead. Phelan's first opportunity today, and he hands off to Zellers, the fullback. Zellers out to the 20, the 21-yard line before he's cut down by Chris Martin, the cornerback, and Corey Singleton, a safety.
Excellent job of blocking. Up front, Zellers with the lead block along with Big O. Oscar McBride, the tight end, gets up into that defensive backfield of Northwestern, and that's the kind of offense that Lou Holtz wants. Power at the corner.
Eric Mays to the left. That's Beckman as that wingback facing inside. And on 2nd and 2, Zellers, another good hole. And he has about 10 more on the first down at the 31. William Bennett, the tackle.
They call this the freeze option. When you see the quarterback turn, watch the way it freezes the linebacker. See, they're not exactly sure what's happening. 35 is frozen. Zellers does a nice job of bouncing outside. Again, shoulder square, going up the field. Nice play.
The junior Zellers now with 29 yards to lead the Irish in rushing first down. 5:42 left in the half. Notre Dame 7-0. And the young man from a little town in North Carolina, Ernle, North Carolina, says, "Are you kidding? Stoplights? Well, I'm not sure we have a stop sign." And probably the most famous athlete from that part of the country. They stay at home in North Carolina around Ernle, or where he went to school, West Craven for the Eagles, and for him to go to Notre Dame with his headline, he's big down there.
He's very big down there.
Chance to be bigger. That's the starter for the 93 edition of Notre Dame. 2nd down 6. Fails the option. Good run. And Singleton makes a big play.
was surprised. Notre Dame had some stuff going straight ahead, right on the power series there at the corner, and then they go with the option to the outside. Vela doesn't have a great deal of football experience. He's got more baseball experience, even though he's got 2 years of baseball eligibility left. Spends most of the spring playing baseball.
His first pass of the season. And it's broken up. And flag goes down. A late flag as Mike Miller went up, and Chris Martin apparently got thrown too soon.
Dick, that was pretty good coverage. That ball took quite a while to get there.
That was Gary Barnett's concern on defense. Third down, long yardage. We stop them, we get them in the hole, and then last year, time after time, the opposition would convert on third down.
You can see this whole thing happen. Martin is not in bad shape. Remember, again, last year's an offensive player. He did make contact. I don't think there's any question about that. That's an interference call on each defense.
15 yards on the penalty up to the 48-yard line. The first time the Irish have converted on third down in this half. Just over 4 minutes to go before the intermission. We'll have all the scores and highlights for you. Our credential report with Hannah Storm. Daylight for a moment, then down at the 48 as Hugh Williams makes the stop. Williams from Aurora, Illinois. Pre-med major. Travis Davis making an appearance in the backfield for Notre Dame. He's from Carson, California, junior. Highly recruited, was Los Angeles City triple jump champion and rushed for over 1,700 yards as a senior. In a very tough league out there at Manning High School. Played defensive back, as you saw the last couple of years, but offense is where he wants to be. And on the option, Fala knocked down, and what penetration by Steve Shine, number 80. The 6'6" senior from Kokomo, Indiana.
Oh, he just absolutely folded the right guard, Will Lyell. Lyell comes out on a pull, and Shine is right there. See if you can pick up the right guard when he pulls out. Yeah, you'll see the whole thing. Bam, Shine is right there in his face. Vela does the smart thing, though. He doesn't try to pitch it out. He keeps it, takes the loss. We'll go back to how we'll try again. Third and 9.
Stork 2, Steve Shine. Looked like Ted Hendricks, the great Hall of Fame. Third down and 10. The fake to Davis. Screen pass to Zellers. And Zellers met with a solid tackle by Anthony Perquette. A flag is down. Perquette making a big play. And this defense of Northwestern has played very competitive football for this half.
And you know, Dick, I think they've gained a certain amount of optimism from the offense's performance. I mean, they've kept it pretty even with the exception of that first play of the game. This may be offensive linemen downfield.
They're going to take the flag away. So it's a 1-yard gain.
Ball was thrown behind the line of scrimmage. There were offensive linemen down the field, but it's a legal pass because it's behind the line of scrimmage.
That was the play that Rocket Ismail worked so effectively with the Irish. So another punt by Leonard with 2:44 left. Northwestern apparently will get another chance, and Gissendaner always dangerous. 10 men on the line of scrimmage for the Wildcats. Catch Gissendaner at the 21-yard line. So Northwestern trailing 7-0 gets another chance before halftime. We'll look forward to visiting with you again 2 weeks from today when those Spartans come to Notre Dame. Meanwhile, Northwestern causing its own problems for the Irish and Lou Holtz, trailing 7-0, but moving the ball effectively and dominating possession time. 2-1, 17+ minutes to 8 for the Irish. Williams looking for something long and goes to Beasley, has it for a first down at the 40-yard line. Dave Beasley, a sophomore from Crystal Lake, Illinois. 37 yards, the biggest play of this first half.
Northwestern just taking advantage of the zone coverage. You can see the closest man is Greg Lane. One of Notre Dame's defensive rules is no bombs. They drop deep. Williams looked out for safety, missed the big completion.
for the tight end, and Luther Morris has had a tough day.
He's 0 for 3.
John?
You know, Trump and Dick, Barnett came over and talked to his offense and said exactly that. The confidence level down here is incredible. And he said two things would be open. The slot man who he hit there, and also the tight end dragging across the middle. He told Len Williams, the quarterback, to read the tight end dragging underneath. You know a lot about that, Trump. Or the wingback clearing out down the middle. He said, if you look at those two guys, one of them will be open, and we can hit them. The only reason we haven't scored is we shot ourselves in the foot. We can score against these guys.
And Morris just dropped that pass. Going deep, but it's up for grabs, and almost caught, but it'll be a penalty, I would think, against Northwestern for pushing off. There was a push off by Northwestern. It could be into the face interference against Notre Dame. Let's see how they sort it out.
It's Centers who gets the ball. Gissendaner was wide open, same pattern, just what John Dockery said, seam up the middle.
Against Notre Dame is the call. It appeared the defender for Notre Dame, while there was a push out by Northwestern.
Against the defense, 15 yards, previous spot.
You can see Burris is not playing the ball. Yes, there was a push off. That's tough to tell, but Burris was not playing the ball at all. And I'm telling you, Gissendaner was wide open, 20 yards to Centers left for a touchdown.
First down goes with a penalty of the 15 yards into the Irish 26.
Watch Gissendaner go down the field. Absolutely wide open. He chose to try Centers. But he still got 15 yards on the penalty.
7-0 Notre Dame. Just under 2 minutes to go in the half. Northwestern driving ever deeper. Into the flat to Robinson. And Robinson is dragged down by Bursich on the sidelines at about the 18-yard line.
I think Robinson is hurt too. Yeah, he is. They're really putting a lot of pressure on linebacker Pete Bursich. They're making him run from sideline to sideline in coverage.
Gain of about 7 on the play. Robinson, they're not real deep at running back. He's the backup to Dennis Lundy. A timeout, 1:40 to go in the half. A dramatic moment at the end of this first half for Northwestern and the Irish fans as they drive into the Irish student body section of Notre Dame Stadium. It's 2nd down and 2, trailing 7-0. Len Williams and the Wildcats with a chance to tie before the intermission. Triple right. That's a movement. Left side, number 84, Shane Graham, the tight end.
Goodness.
And all that noise made by the Irish student body may have been enough of a distraction to force the 5 yards.
Actually, though, this student body is not as loud as those speakers were at Dyke Stadium the other day. We were at practice.
That's right.
Dead ball. Ball start. Offense.
Gary Barnett had them practicing with, they were mighty decibels around Dyke Stadium, hoping to train his team for just this occasion, but 5 yards the deficit. It's 2nd and 7. Dennis Lundy, now the running back. The picking is to Gissendaner. Cannot break out of the grasp of Bobby Taylor, and Taylor has started in this first half. Yes, there was the interference call, but he has saved 2 touchdowns, one with a deflection and one with a tackle, and makes a big play there.
But Dick, what a catch this was. Williams reads the blitz. Watch how far this ball is to Gissendaner before he gets his head around. Boy, that is athletic talent right there. Spins all the way around, makes the catch.
5 catches for 45 yards for Gissendaner, and he indeed is someone, a big name to follow during the course of the season. Reminder at halftime, our credential update with Hannah Storm in New York. She'll have all the scores up to date and the highlights. A look at the freshman sensation here at Notre Dame, the quarterback Ron Hollis, the high school player of the year in 1992, and an old spice volleyball preview, a sport that is predictably capturing the favor of this nation. It's a wonderful television sport as we learned in the Olympics, and some of those Olympic stars now, Karts Karai and others, making some pretty good dollars playing the game.
You got it. In Olympic and volleyball, Karts Karai is like halo of the soccer
pass on the first play. That man, Len Williams, threw to his tight end. It went off Luther Morris's hands right into the grasp of Bursic. He
Flankers, they cover. Top of the screen. Nobody's on the flanker. Now they go out.
Williams underneath. Gets him back again. Drilled at the 8-yard line. First and goal, Northwestern with 53 seconds. Clock stop momentarily as they move the chains.
These Northwestern receivers, and I didn't mean to interrupt an offensive receiver when you're uncovered, you can go uncontrollable. So I apologize. These Northwestern receivers are doing a great job of bouncing off coverage guys and coming over.
Derek Scott, freshman from Los Angeles, is the man farthest from the beat. First and goal from the 8 for Williams and Northwestern. End zone touchdown, Dennis Lundy. Which has been his pattern most of this first half. He makes the move inside. No one picks him up. He did not have a touchdown catch last year in his 30 grabs, but gets one in the opener of 93. The try for point. And his hooks wide. No good. Ryan Leahy misses wide to the left. So the high and the low, seconds apart for Northwestern. They do not tie. Notre Dame, without an offensive score, leads 7-6.
The thing we've seen all half is this guy in motion. Here's the man in coverage, Bursic. Bursic, frankly, excellent player, does not have the speed and coverage to stay up with Lundy. Now watch what happens. He runs it down, a little delay, and in. And see, he runs right by Bursic. Williams, an excellent throw right between the 3 and the 4. They have exploited all kinds of things from this empty backfield. Running the delay to Lundy gets them the score, and frankly, that's not a great pattern run by Lundy. But Bursic should not be put in that spot. You need somebody else there. You can't expect Pete Bursic, who is 6'2", 237, to be out there covering a running back like Dennis Lundy.
Now let's see what happened on the extra point. Appeared to be a good set by centers. And Brian Leahy, whose uncle's Pat Leahy, the great place kicker of the Jets for so many years. Brian, an all-star soccer player, unable to connect. So it's 7-6 Notre Dame. Notre Dame led 14-7 at the halftime last year. High and short is the kick. Burris lets it go through his hands, picks it up and is hit at the 18-yard line.
His knee was down when he grabbed the ball.
At the 19. Terry Bradshaw, the stars of the NFL, about to flex their muscles tomorrow, opening day around the league. And Lampley, Ditka, Simpson, and McDonough in the studio at 12:30. Special feature on Super Bowl star Joe Montana, no longer in the red of the 49ers, but the scarlet of Kansas City. And they'll be playing Tampa Bay. There's the lineup. Look for the game in your area. Many of you will see Rick Myers debut, the former Notre Dame star of the Seattle Seahawks. Quarterback against San Diego. Beckham finds a big hole up the middle and is to the 32-yard line with his longest run of the half. 21 seconds remaining before the gun.
Says a lot about Lou Holtz's choice here. Said he's taking no chances. Leading 7-6. 21 seconds left. Sitting at his own 25. He's still going to run the football.
Timeout called, and Lou Holtz, it's been a tough week for him. Part of the news of this week surrounding a newly published book, highly critical of Coach Holtz and the Notre Dame football. University officials have referred to the book as a character assassination, and we asked Holtz for his reaction. He stood firm in his position of, said, I'm not reading the book, nor will I ever, nor will I make any comments. Holtz did add that he, like anyone, would like to react to defend himself against charges, but felt that would only fuel a season-long discussion that would serve only to distract from his coaching and from his team's play. You're on top. They go after you.
an easy target.
It's often you dream about the position, and I suppose in college football for many that is to be the head coach here. It carries some added weight, however.
It's the fishbowl, and the glass is real thick, so people look real close.
Say sometimes little problems unless a big man commits them. Yes. Western 191 yards to 69 for the Irish in this half. Here's the screen. Zellers is drilled at the 29-yard line. The tackle that could have caused a fumble. Chris Martin, who has made several of those open field stops in this half.
This Northwestern football team has played inspired in this first half.
Well, they just get this play off right at the final second to Ken Johnson. Has some open field, tripped up again by Martin, who may steal another play, and that is the end of a surprising first half that'll raise eyebrows around the country when it's announced. Northwestern with an point of Notre Dame, and Notre Dame's only score coming on defense. John?
Thank you, Dick. Coach, why are you able to move the ball so well for the second year in a row against this Notre Dame defense?
Well, I think we're doing a pretty good job of protecting up front, and Lee has worked very well. But Lenny's really picked out the open guys much better than he did a year ago. And I just, we're just more into the offense than we were a year ago. And your defense is playing well. A lot of people expected it to be the weak part of your team, and yet they played well. Well, I think before the game started, I said it'd be a game of field position, and right now we've had that, and we've kept them in poor field position, and our defense hasn't had to play a lot right now. What will you say to them in halftime? We got a goal, and we're going to get in the wheelbarrow. That's what I'm going to tell them. Good luck to you.
Into the wheelbarrow.
That's one I've not heard.
Doc will be back to explain that one as well. It's 7-6 Notre Dame at the intermission. And now for scores and reports around the country, we go to Hannah Storm in New York.
Second half, we're looking at the new quarterback, McDougal. Neither one of those quarterbacks played enough to know what they can do. He did complete one pass. You can see the numbers there. The problem is, on defense, it is not personnel that's beating Notre Dame on defense. It's what they're trying to do. Northwestern has a beautiful scheme to just run the seams of the zone. And until there's something, a blitz, a different look, something to disrupt the timing for this young man in his offense, I have a feeling that this is going to continue. This is just a tremendous performance by Northwestern's offense.
Notre Dame will get the ball first, and as we indicated earlier, Holt said our offense will be boring this year, and the implication was they'd grind it out, not take chances because it's a young offensive unit. Will he have to open it up here to challenge Northwestern because it's a the Wildcats are going to move the football around? But trail 7-6 and missed extra point at the end of the half by Lee, who kicks it off on the start of the second half. It's Mike Miller, and the speedster is to the 28-yard line where Danny Sutter, number 50, there to make the tackle. Kevin McDougal, the senior from Pompano Beach, starts the second half. He played most of the first half, but that's a misdirection in a way because the Irish just didn't have the ball, but under 10 minutes of the entire first half.
Well, Dick, I think Notre Dame, I'm sure they have inside their offense a series of bread and butter plays. And we're going to see in this drive, I would think, all of those bread and butter plays.
Left Dawson way to the right with Tim Johnson. Northwestern has recovered at the 28-yard line. Oh, my. Joe Reef, number 94, with a ball just laying in his lap. Just as the first play of the game started with Northwestern turning it over to Notre Dame. And the touchdown, Notre Dame gives it to the Wildcats here to open the second half.
That's inexperience on McDougal's part. When you saw him rotate back from the center, he had the ball away from him, and the right guard stripped the ball out of his hands.
So the Wildcats at the Notre Dame 28-yard line, trailing by a point, 7-6 as we open this second half. Northwestern a 4-touchdown underdog, trailing 7-6.
Notre Dame starts with their standard defense, 4 defensive backs.
Triple left for Northwestern. Fake to London.
Alexander.
I mean, no one touches him. He runs by the linebacker, inside the linebacker. Oh, we have seen some open receivers here. That's one we'd like to have back. It looks like he tries to put a little too much steam on it.
This Sander was 6 catches in the first half. He likes to work from that inside position, but he's outside this time. Lundy caught from behind, but breaks that tackle and fouls to the 25. Gain of about 3. It'll be 3rd and 7 for Northwestern.
This is very interesting. Notre Dame's choice here
Gibson, Lundy carry in at 25.
Standard. There's the defensive back coming in now.
Willie Clark. Everybody says Bursic.
They started the first 2 plays with just a 4-man front.
3rd and 7.
Now maybe this is the adjustment. Bursic comes out. See who 2, 3, 4, 5.
No one in the backfield, right? Lundy slided way out to the right. And they're going to blitz a little linebacker. Go in, but Williams gets out of it. Flanagan chases, can't get him. And Williams, the quarterback, still on his feet and goes to the 10-yard line. There's still a fullback in that quarterback's body. 15 yards.
You've got a quarterback who he looks, he can't find anybody, and then turns into a fullback, not afraid to take a hit. He gets the first down on the run.
It's not first and goal. The ball just inside the 10. So Northwestern has that full 5 to 10 to go. It's wide. Does it easily. Northwestern takes the lead. Signal's going to go 4-2.
Not sure exactly who he wants
Williams, 2 Wildcats around it, incomplete. Actually, Eric Scott and Chris Campbell knocking into each other to break it up, and a flag is down in the backfield.
It's against Northwestern.
Holding against Northwestern was the preliminary signal.
Holding. Offense. Penalties refused.
So it wouldn't have counted had it been successful. 12-7, Northwestern leads.
Northwestern runs trips right. This is going to happen to the right-hand side of the screen. An excellent job of just pushing and shoving after the initial line of scrimmage. Lundy untouched.
His second touchdown of the game.
From behind the offense, here's the touchdown, but watch the blocking by the center and the cutoff by Padgett. An excellent job, stops the pursuit. And the running back is able to cut back inside because there's no one there to pursue from the inside, untouched for the score.
Lundy, who caught the pass, 8 yards for the touchdown into the half.
We're going to bring this one back to Evanson.
The 10-yard line to give Northwestern its first lead at 10-7, and a fair catch on the short high kick. The penalty marked off for holding on the kickoff, and Notre Dame has excellent position based on their play thus far in the game at the 37-yard line. Mike Ditka is off the sidelines of the Bears and in the studio on NFL Live, along with Jim Lampley, O.J. Simpson, and Will McDonough. Interesting what he will have to say. It was interesting that Ditka was brought up by Gary Barnett to talk to his Northwestern team, and he said, talk about an inspirational message. Well, we'll see what he has to inspire the country tomorrow as we kick off the opening of the NFL season on NBC. 12:30 Eastern Time. This is the best Notre Dame starting position of the day at their own 37. And McDougal comes out throwing. And he has a man open. Clint Johnson is out of bounds at the 40-yard line. 40 yards. 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 in Northwestern territory.
Dougal looks very experienced here. Good play action fake with his left hand. Puts just enough arc on the ball to get it to the receiver. Of course, in college football, just 1 foot in is enough. Nice 23-yard completion. There's a lot for his confidence, I'm sure.
Northwestern late getting set defensively. And it's Zeller, the fullback. One way to the 32-yard line. A gain of 8 before Hugh Williams could get him down.
Well, it almost looks like Lee Holtz is saying, whether this is your first start or not, son, you're going to play like you've been at that quarterback position for the last 3 seasons.
Second and a long 2. Has the first down inside the Northwestern 30-yard line. And a 4 more. Williams and Ostrowski, the linebackers with a tackle. And Notre Dame, you can just see a little more energy in their offensive execution here in the third quarter.
Also excites the fans. They have very little to cheer about since that opening play of the game.
Yet to score on offense, Notre Dame trailing 12-7 early in the second half. Comes in the company. Mike Warren slashing in from his outside linebacking position, number 68. 59,000 plus, the 107th consecutive sellout here at Notre Dame. Stadium with so many grand memories that date back to 1930. Second and 8. Fullback Zellers gets 3 more to the 21-yard line. Steve Shine and others with the tackle. Ostrowski was there, and Hillebush. Third and 4. Call for the Irish. Mike Miller leads to the left of Dawson. Tight end Oscar on the right. They haven't thrown to that big target yet. He's 6'5", 255. Up to the right.
Pushing the nose tackle about 4 yards out of the way. Becton following him right up in there. That's a good, well-executed play right up through the gun of the offense.
To take the lead. 5-yard line, Notre Dame. Full house back to it. Zellers with Becton. Zellers for the touchdown. His first score at Notre Dame. A field goal lead.
He's got the personnel for 2.
Sends 2 men wide. Dawson with Johnson, and
Notre Dame will go for 2.
Wingback is Becton. Movement before the snap.
Who do they call it on? Both sides moved.
Irish completing a 63-yard drive in 7 quick plays, 2.5 minutes. Illegal procedure against the offense. And that will force a change in the call by Holtz as he sends in his extra point group. That was an opportunity there. Holtz thinking he had to go ahead 15-12 with a 2-point play. And now the extra point for a 14-12 lead.
Kevin Pendergast comes in.
Late arrival on
25 yards
for Notre Dame
out of
as
Fela's
Kevin Pendergast out of the hold of Fela for the extra point. 14-12 with 11 minutes to go in the third quarter. And now they'll be gas to kick. Zeller's pulling his way in from 5 yards out. Deep return, number 9, the freshman Eric Scott with the start of number 2, Lee Kissander. Kissander to the near side. Short. Kissander at the 15. And he's across the 30-yard line. And Northwestern takes over there. Let's go back to the key run by Lee Beckton.
There are several big blocks. One on Ostrowski by the lead man. You see the center do a great job, and also the guard does a great job. This is on the long run by Beckton. They really clear it out beautifully, and then Beckton accelerates up through there. Breaks a couple of tackles, and now the touchdown. Watch Bennett, number 20 from Northwestern. He realizes they're called the wrong defense. He doesn't like it, but with that full house backfield, Zellers follows Beckton through there for the first offensive touchdown of the day. Couldn't get the timeout call.
Disadvantage return. Northwestern at its 32. And hit as he hits the hole, and they were shooting in a defensive back. Brian McGee shot the gap. So there's a change in the philosophy defensively.
Trying to disrupt somehow the rhythm of this offense.
No gain.
Willie Clark in, and Bursic the linebacker out. Extra defensive back on 2nd and 10. This man alone split to the left, 3 wide to the right. So without a tight end.
There's 6 defensive backs for Notre Dame. That's the adjustment they're making.
That Notre Dame defender that stops something very long, but it's still a 13-yard pickup and a first down Northwestern.
Dick, watch what happens here. The defense rotates this way with the extra defensive backs, and when the motion comes this way, these 2 guys have to cover these 2 out there. And again, the quarterback just finds them out there. See, those defensive backs don't move. They're motioning. Come over here, help us. Lundy's out there alone. You're right, another saving tackle.
Taylor has been in the position to save 3 touchdowns in this game. First down at the Northwestern 45. Notre Dame leads 14-12.
And the defense is still confused.
And now a flag thrown by the umpire as delay of game, the call against Northwestern. And with this complicated wide open offense and so many audibles used by Northwestern, it's to their credit that's the first time that they've not been able to execute before the clock.
Legal procedure, false start against the offense. Repeat first stop.
I thought it was too much time. He's saying a false start. I didn't see anybody move at all.
It was 0 on the clock anyway. It's 0 both ways. That's one of the few that he's not caught, and a tough chance. Let's go to New York and Hannah Storm for this report. So the Gamecocks celebrate. Here it's the Wildcats of Northwestern pressuring favored Notre Dame. 14-12 Irish. 10 minutes to go in the third.
Nobody's covering one right here on the sideline. Low side of the field.
Procedure penalty against whom? I think that Williams was trying to hurry the snap, and in the process, the penalty against the Wildcats. He saw Lundy out there as you did and wanted to hurry up and get the ball.
Legal procedure, false start against the offense. Repeat second down.
You can see what happens here. Here's Lundy. The defense is accounting for all this, guys, and finally he comes out here late. And you're right. Williams can't get the ball snapped with everybody standing still. Look, he's totally uncovered. Here he is again, bottom of the screen again. Will they cover him?
Second and 20. Williams just At the 45, that's where this series of downs began, so it'll be 3rd and 10.
That's the first one we've seen him catch today. He's had a couple of opportunities. One bounced, a couple have dropped, and that one is a reception.
One didn't just bounce. It went right on the arms of Bursic for a 21-yard touchdown. Notre Dame to start the game.
Notre Dame is slow getting out of the huddle here. 6 defensive backs again, and they're still pushing all kinds of people on the defensive side of the ball.
3rd and 10, Williams to throw. Underneath, it's complete at the 48, but that's going to be well shy of a first down. Chris Gamble going down to make sure of the catch, but they needed him to catch that one on the run.
Yeah, that's on the quarterback. If he throws it waist high, he's still running.
So the punting team on for Northwestern. A couple of procedure penalties in that sequence denies the Wildcats, and Paul Burton in to punt.
Remember, too, with Northwestern, Lynn Williams is the fullback on the punt team here. You can never really be sure they're going to kick it.
Up the Irish 38. On 4th and 3, he will punt. Gets it going to the end zone. Notre Dame's ball at the 20 when we return. Back at Notre Dame, where the Irish lead 14-12, 3rd quarter, 8:17 to go, and Notre Dame starts from the 20-yard line. Kevin McDougal, the quarterback. That's Dean Lytle now, fullback. As they go to an Irish spread. McDougal with a flanker screen in the middle. Come on, nailed at the 26-yard line. We talked about Gary Barnett using psychology, trying to think positively, and throughout the entire summer program, he employed the services of this man, Chris Musso. He was a head coach at Idaho back in the 60s. Steve Musso. And Steve had talked 45 minutes every night about how to think positively, how to believe that you can be a winner. And apparently he had something to do with that wheelbarrow comment that Barnett made. We're going to go down to Doctor. He's got the full explanation right after this play. 2nd and 4. He stacked up after a yard gain. What is it all about, Doc? Where's the wheelbarrow?
Let me see. Let me look around for it here. We talked about it's a difference between belief and trust. What Steve Musso used is a story about a man on a tightrope going across Niagara Falls. He does it once. All the crowd says, oh, that's wonderful. You can do it. He does it again. They say terrific. Then he says, can I do it with the wheelbarrow? Do you believe? They all say yes. Then he does it one more time and said, would you get in the wheelbarrow and let me do it? Take you across Niagara Falls. And the person that says yes really believes, but he also trusts. And that's the whole idea that Gary Barnett is trying to get here. His team to believe, but also to trust in one another so they'll be a good team.
Well, they try to collaborate there as Steve Shine makes the tackle, but not in time as Ullers has the first down at the Irish 32.
Coaches will employ any little trick that they possibly can, you know. 45 minutes a night, the same guy talking to you, though. I can get old in a hurry unless he's entertaining.
Listen, you tight ends never listened anyway, so what difference does it make?
Yeah, well, no, but if he's there for 3 years, oh, man, I heard that story 3 years ago.
First down, Notre Dame with the lead, 14-12, midpoint, 3rd quarter. Pressure. Sellers caught in the backfield. A good solid hit by William Bennett, who made the second-team freshman All-America team last year as a safety for the Wildcats.
There's good pressure here by Northwestern. McDougal with great presence. That's Shine, number 80, right in his face. And, Dick, I get the feeling here that either out of necessity or just comfort zone, Lou Holtz is showing a little more confidence in Kevin McDougal. Opening the offense ever so slightly, just a little more on the underneath stuff to try to get to the real offense that we're going to Notre Dame.
Yeah, what amounts to a triple left for Notre Dame.
Saving tackle by Chris Martin of Northwestern. McDougal threw that ball well. Play action fake, good mechanics, nice tight spiral. Right in stride for Mike Miller. I'm not even sure he had to jump. If he catches that in stride, he might have gone in.
Miller had a 70-yard touchdown against Northwestern last year. It's Benton met at the line of scrimmage. Bulls forward for a yard. Danny Sutter playing one of the inside linebacker positions. His brother Ed was a tackling star at Northwestern. In fact, number 2 all time with the Wildcats.
Wow. Their defense, Northwestern's defense, didn't play much in the first half, but they're getting more than their share here to start the second half.
14-12 and inside the Northwestern 15, the Irish. For 7 passes. Benton has a hold on tackle. Finally brought down inside the 5. It'll be first and goal for the Irish. Anthony Paquette finally finished the job, but it took 4 Northwestern tackles to stop Benton.
Nothing fancy, just straight ahead, good power blocking by the Notre Dame offensive line. This single again, a good lead block. Fullbacks from Notre Dame are excellent lead blockers. Sexton stays right on that fullback's hip, makes the right break, nice pickup, first down.
Full house with Jeff Burris, the defensive safety, lined up at left halfback with Benton and Sutter. Sutter, the fullback now, keeper by McDougal, and Steve Shine, who led Northwestern's in big play last year, the Pat Hayden lookalike, makes the tackle.
It's a loss of yards here, Dick, but it's the right play for McDougal. He hangs on to the football. Doesn't want to take a chance to pitch it out to Burris, the pitch man. He just falls on the ground. We'll try again.
That looks like Hayden, doesn't it?
It does.
11 sacks last year for Shine. That was second best in the Big Ten. Second and goal from the 8. Same formation, Notre Dame. The 2 tight ends, Oscar McBride and Pete Lovitz. McDougal keeps and rolled out of bounds at the foul by Rodney Ray at the corner. Third and goal.
Kind of surprising. They had so much success straight ahead, and they go to the sideline.
Here's that third down play facing Northwestern. They stopped Notre Dame. They forced the field goal, stay within a touchdown. But last year they couldn't stop the opposition on third down. 10th play of this drive for the Irish. Singleton. Neil McDougal for another loss as they come around the offensive left side of the Irish line.
Northwestern wanted to take a chance there. Singleton was safety, along with the defensive inside. Come from the outside. It looked to me like the intended receiver was going to be Big O, Oscar McBride. Doesn't catch him often, but when he does, they're in the end zone.
Pendergast will hit this one from just inside the 20. A 29-yard attempt. Dead center. With plenty of Kevin Pendergast. Field goal gives the Irish a 5-point lead. 17-12.
17-12 Notre Dame over Northwestern, and the big play in that last drive. Here's the pattern. It's not much of a pattern. A little juke move to the outside by Miller. And McDougal throws this ball beautifully. Runs right to it. Another saving tackle by Chris Martin. That's a 50-yard pickup. And then this is the sack. Now watch Zellers. You see Shine and also 38 come in there. It looks like Zellers has a blocking responsibility here, but I'm not sure. He looks like he's checking through. But anyway, Shine makes the sack, and it ends up that Notre Dame can only get the field goal as opposed to the touchdown as the drive stay alive.
It appeared that McDougal was looking right at Zellers. A little circle delay over the middle, and he would have been open in no time because Shine there with the tackle. Spins it. Gissendaner gets some daylight and is to the 39-yard line. You can see why he strikes 10 in the heart of special teams around the Big Ten. Willie Clark made the stop. Tomorrow, NBC Sports kicks off another great season of NFL football. 12:30 it starts. NFL Live. Lampley, Ditka, Simpson, McDonough. They've got everything loaded up, all ready to fire. And then you'll see Joe Montana, some of you, as Kansas City goes against Tampa Bay. Some of you will see Rick Meyer and the Seahawks against the Chargers. And there's all the regional action. Check your local listings for the game in your area. NFL Live tomorrow at 12:30. 9:30 in the West. Glenn Williams takes over at almost the 40-yard line. Who scores both Northwestern touchdowns and gets only a couple there. Brian Hamilton, the senior defensive end, makes the top.
You've been noticing here from the Notre Dame sideline, their defensive coordinator is trying to make the call as late as possible depending upon the personnel on the field. That's why you see Notre Dame standing out there. Rick Minner right there. He's trying to make the call as late as possible. And you see right there, Willie Clark comes in to replace Persich. That's why Notre Dame is so late getting dispersed out here.
And both centers and Patrick White to the right. Lundy joins Gissendan to the left. And Bryant Young holding into the center. Rod Johnson. It's against the Irish.
Encroachment, defense, 5-yard penalty. First down.
It's not first down. Second down and 3.
Second and 3.
New personnel for Northwestern comes in. Notre Dame waits as long as it can to make the decision. Ronaldo Wynn is coming in here at the last minute.
They're changing because 2 tight ends.
What's amazing, they're making Notre Dame make decisions they don't want to make.
Second and short. Rick Scott in motion. Starting in. Taking the snap forward before the snap.
In defense of these guys from Northwestern, there is a lot for them to absorb. I mean, the quarterback is telling them to play. They got to look the defense. Look at the defense.
Illegal procedure, false starts, offense, replay, second down, 5-yard penalty.
And it's nice to praise intellect when it's due, and these two teams certainly have more than their share of bright young athletes. And Gary Barnett said, you know, you couldn't put in an offense like this and have it work so quickly if you didn't have bright kids. I mean, they just are so sharp that they're able to assimilate the complexities of this offense.
Even Glenn Williams said last spring, I really didn't get this offense. And then all of a sudden it started to click.
Second down and 8. Williams with a flat down gets to the 44. Tripped up by Brian McGee.
We have seen, you just said, some saving tackles. There's another one.
It wouldn't have counted as holding is the ticket against Northwestern.
I think John Dockery told us in the first half that Barnett was happy with the performance, but they kept getting in their own way, making their own mistakes. It's certainly happening here in the second half, too.
Holding against the offense, 10-yard penalty, the enforcement spot of the foul.
We asked the 46-year-old Barnett up at Northwestern a couple days ago, what's your goal in this game? What, other than on the obvious a victory? He said, just let my team be close going into the fourth quarter. Well, he's 2 minutes away from that goal. It's 17-12. Late in the third. Second and 20 for Williams and the Wildcats. Sounds like a vocal group for a while there.
6 DBs now for Northwestern. Excuse me, for Notre Dame.
Williams looking for Gissendan. There he is, almost intercepted. John Covington diving in front of the intended receiver. Covington knows to dive in and get his share. He's one of 20 children. He had to fight for his place at the table.
At least his place at the table. Now you're seeing a little tighter coverage. Look at it, 3 Notre Dame defenders now around the football. The slight adjustments have been made. First they had the advantage there. It's a second down and very long yardage. Now third down and very long yardage. But it looks like they're telling the defensive backs to be a little more aggressive in their coverage here.
Morris on the right side. Shotgun for the first time for Len Williams. Looks deep. Morris, the tight end, had it for a moment, knocked away. Greg Lane and Jeff Burris put the pinch on Morris. Burris Davis has played a big game.
Yes, he has. On defense and also seen on the goal line. Lane originally makes the hit. He's behind the tight end.
He has it there for a moment, but it's being pulled away by Lane, and Burris finishes the job.
He finished the job is exactly what he did.
So Paul Burton and the punting team in for Northwestern. Frank Miller at the Irish 34. Burton gets a weak spiral away. It takes a Northwestern bounce, fortunately for the Wildcats, and a very good one considering, and a roll to the 39 of the Irish. A 50-yard punt that had disaster written all over it.
He does a pretty good job of hanging on to this football. Oh, this thing skips back there. Rolls off his shoulder pads. He's able to punt it and still get a spiral up.
And gets hit in the process. Snapper for the Wildcats is Conrad Jones, number 98. Holland, Michigan, senior. So Notre Dame, final minute and 17 seconds of this third quarter. The Irish with a field goal and a touchdown in the third period will spend a timeout. Didn't have enough men on the field or the right personnel. That gives us a chance to remind you, following our action today, the Old Spice Tournament of Champions Volleyball.
McDougal has got the rest of his game. I'd be shocked to see Paul Fela come in here anytime sooner in the fourth quarter. McDougal's made a couple of expectations, made some good choices here.
The Irish will move the ball better in this third quarter than any time in the first half. They come out front. McDougal. 30-yard line, and Steve Shine is in there again. Number 80. He's big and he uses his hands well. 6'6", a former basketball star, and runs a 4.6. And he penetrates again, and he read that well.
But he was untouched. Nobody blocked it. He came around. And Aaron Taylor was consumed with another blocker. And Steve Shine just got a free shot on McDougal.
When he crossed the line of scrimmage, it was almost as if, wait a minute, no one touching me. This must be a draw or something else.
Yeah, you're tricking me. No, you can tell me that a free shot on the quarterback.
Second and 19. McDougal with the punt looking weak. And he's going to be by Derek Mays at the Northwestern 27-yard line.
Chris Martin, number 16. Last year he was an offensive player just learning to play quarterback. This is an outstanding catch. Shows up great athletic ability, pulls that thing in. Again, McDougal threw it the only place that the receiver could catch it. And Mays goes up and gets it. That's to McDougal's play.
50 yards to Miller to set up that last drive, and now a 42-yard connection with Mays, who has a bad left hand, didn't show it on that grab. Final seconds, and that's the third quarter here at Notre Dame. We return after these messages from your local station. To the fourth quarter here at Notre Dame. NBC Sports has received many pieces of mail from parents saying, why don't you show my son or daughter students at Notre Dame? We're happy to oblige. Here they are. To the fourth quarter. Notre Dame leading 17-12 at the 23 of Northwestern. Down up the middle, and the last man was Corey Singleton hanging on to the tailgate to get him at the 15. It'll be a first down for the Irish. Third quarter, Notre Dame rushed and passed for 169 yards. They had only 78 the entire first half.
The offensive line of Notre Dame beginning to take over this football game. Not particularly that much bigger. They are a little more experienced than the Northwestern Northwestern defensive line to begin to take control.
Straight ahead, moves the fullback. And that might have been the sensational freshman Mark Edwards. They're looking for big things from him. He's from Norwood, Ohio. He was the Ohio State high school back of the year as a junior and a senior. All he did in his career was rush for 6,001 yards and 73 touchdowns.
Norwood, a suburb of Cincinnati. This kid Edwards.
Second down, 6. Back at the 12-yard line, a loss of a yard as Corey Singleton came up from a safety position to hit him in the backfield.
And of course, coming into this game, I think that was Northwestern's idea. They were going to try to rush 8 guys up to the line of scrimmage to slow down the run. Those few completions by McDougal had loosened up the defense, changed the philosophy of Northwestern's defensive coaches. They're able to run that ball with a little more regularity.
Becton now with 66 yards. He leads the Irish. So it's 3rd and 7 for McDougal. And they go to fullback Zellers. Not much there. That was nothing to trick the Wildcats there, and brings up a field goal situation for Lou Holtz. And on comes Kevin Pendergast. A field goal that would give Notre Dame an 8-point lead if successful.
Just inside the 10. Did you see Lou kind of say something to Pendergast? Not saying that it might be something tricky. It looked like Lou had a message for Mr. Pendergast here.
It's a 27-yard field goal. Fail of the quarterback's the holder, so he can throw it. It's field goal all the way. And it's excellent. Pendergast has done perfect. Notre Dame leads 20-12. 12:49. Notre Dame heavily favored, 4 touchdowns. The favorite over Northwestern, but leading 20-12 early in the 4th quarter. They've scored a touchdown and 2 consecutive field goals in their last 3 possessions. That's got some of them happier here at Notre Dame Stadium. Throughout the country, a stop inside the 20 as we go to Hannah Storm in this report. Isn't that terrific? Yes, Jim Abbott, he can be anyone's hero. You talk about role models, and Abbott throws a no-hitter. The former University of Michigan star, former California Angel. Congratulations. What a moment. Now it's Lynn Williams and the Wildcats starting at the 18. The cookie outside is complete to Chris Gamble. It's stripped away, and Notre Dame has it at the 16-yard line. Greg Lane made the play. Was stripped away by John Covington.
That's a long way to throw a hitch, and that's what the pattern is called. I thought Bobby Taylor was in on that play a little bit too.
Let's see, there were 2 men surrounding Gamble. Here comes Lane. He's
Lane
the first.
makes the hit. Lane does strip it away. Covington does make the recovery. It looked like the receiver tried to make a little too much out of this play. He's got 6 or 7 yards here. Get on the ground.
Only the second turnover. That's right. He was on his way down when they pulled it away. So the Irish now with 12:34 left. Their second turnover. The first was the touchdown interception by Percy. To the 11-yard line. Rodney Wade, the quarterback, made the tackle deep into the Northwestern secondary. And Covington, and it's a defense that is going to be a challenge for any of the opponents of Notre Dame this year. It's the strength of this Irish team.
I thought it was interesting that Lou Holtz told us that he ran his first offense against his first defense 20 minutes ago every day in practice.
Zellers calls to the 5. It's 1st and goal. Williams and Ostrowski, the linebackers with the In comes Leon Willis. Back up tight end. Number 88 with a play from the sidelines. It's Holtz to Holtz combination on offense. Skip Holtz, the 22-year-old son of Lou Holtz, is upstairs to call down the plays. The offensive coordinator this year. Zellers stopped, no gain. Good penetration that time from Northwestern defender. It was Chris Martin coming up from defensive secondary position.
So, Dick, you mentioned Skip Holtz, father and son, head coach, offensive coordinator for those of you out here who are screaming nepotism. Skip Holtz was here first. He was on Jerry Faust's staff. Lou Holtz came and hired his son. Very smart.
Remember mid-season, he and Willie Clark both on the offensive side. Lou Holtz said, I need some defensive strength. There's the extra point. It was against Tennessee in the middle of the year. They became defensive back. So Burris, not a strange position that would be running out of the backfield. The Irish built their lead at 27-12. With Bob Trumpy and John Dockery, Dick Enberg, if you're just joining us, the Northwestern Wildcats with design on a big upset, led early in this second half 12-7. They recovered a fumble in the first play of the second half and scored on a Dennis Lundy 10-yard run and led 12-7. But since then, the Irish with 20 unanswered points to lead 27-12 and converted a fumble recovery of their own as 17 yards after the recovery. Gets it into the end zone for the touchdown. So Lynn Williams and the Wildcats now in a desperate position of having to strike quickly with 10.5 minutes to go. And you can see Notre Dame's improvement both sides of the ball.
It's changed dramatically. Notre Dame has made the adjustment defensively. They put the 6th defensive back out there on the field and taken away some of the options that Lynn Williams has had for people to throw to. They've figured out the empty backfield offense that Northwestern has run, and they're doing it again here.
Those turnovers will kill you. 3 in the game today, 2 by Notre Dame and 1 by Northwestern, and all 3 have led to touchdowns.
5 defensive backs in here, all led by Williams.
It away and has to eat it at the 22. A gain of 2. Jim Flanagan made the tackle. Number 44 started his career here as a linebacker. Wears the same number his dad did with the Green Bay Packers as a linebacker for 5 seasons. Flanagan now is 6'2" and 276. He was a 240-pound freshman linebacker, and even then, Bolt said, "Someday, son, you're going to play with your hand down." And he's right. Flanagan playing on that defensive line.
Hand down. That's the worst thing they can tell.
To the 30 and across for a first down. Bryant Young chasing the play. Oliver Gibson.
That was an excellent job by the defense. They dropped back quite a ways when they read the screen up there to assist on the tackle. It's not quite as easy for Northwestern to find those open seams in this second half, but now fourth quarter.
Dennis Lundy, who has both Northwestern touchdowns, also leads in catches with 6 and yards 58. He's in motion. He's open again. Whoa! Barely. Coming up was Bobby Taylor. Make the hit.
He's made a lot of hits and good plays today.
2 sophomores start on defense for Notre Dame. The rest are seniors. Taylor is one of those second-year men, but he plays like a veteran.
Now think back to the first half. The guy making that tackle was Bursic, the linebacker. Now they've got the cornerback. They're switching back there in the defense, and the cornerback is now coming up to make that tackle.
He was a Texas high school basketball player of the year as well at Longview, Texas. Third, make that 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10, no gain on the play. And another flag, and the umpire throws it. Legal procedure against the Wildcats.
That's happened a lot in the second half, hasn't it? Too much time, illegal procedure.
Steve Shine, who
Legal procedure, false start, offense, 5-yard penalty.
hasn't given Notre Dame's quarterbacks much time today. He'll be expected to be one of the stars on the defensive side of the ball as he was last year, and played a big game today. 2nd and 15. Triple right. No one open, and Williams has to eat it at the 15. Goheen and Gibson.
They had a 4-man front, 1 linebacker, 6 defensive backs, and then blitz the linebacker, Goheen up through the middle. So it ends up 5 rushing, 6 defending, and Goheen and Gibson get half a sack each. They've made the adjustment necessary in the second half, put a little more pressure, and disrupted the rhythm of this offense, which was functioning beautifully in the first half. Notre Dame has taken that away from them.
3rd and 24. So the flag down as he gets out to the 25-yard line and is sandwiched by Thomas Knight, Justin Goheen, and others, and an injured Wildcat back in the Northwestern backfield. It's Lundy.
Holding a leg, there's also a flag down. Flag down, you don't make the first down.
And another penalty against Northwestern for holding.
And your running back has scored 2 touchdowns hurt.
With a backup, Chuck Robinson, injured in the first half.
The play was a flaming disaster.
And the freshman that figured to play, Robbie Glanton, has a broken hand, the running back.
Against the offense, penalty is refused. 4th down, 4th down. We have an injury timeout. Officials timeout.
So with that timeout, 7:18 left here at Notre Dame, and the Irish by 15. Notre Dame leading 27-12, and Paul Burton and the Wildcats coming to them. Miller inside the 45 of the Irish. Driving kick. Miller at the 35. Boy, he has extraordinary speed. Runs out of field, however, and right into the Notre Dame bench.
Huge hit by Justin Goheen right on the sideline.
38-yard punt, 6 on the return. A reminder tonight, super bloopers and new practical jokes starts the NBC Saturday night lineup. Then it's Empty Nest and Nurses, followed by Sisters. All tonight, Saturday night on NBC.
Paul Phelan, in at quarterback. I'm kind of surprised. He wants to get ball out and give her a chance. I understand that.
Turn it over.
Blake Dawson far to the right with Clint Johnson in the slot. Travis Davis uses the wing back now. From just inside the Irish 45. Gets around Shine once, but not the second time, as Shine gets him for about a 2-yard gain.
That did not look like a design play.
Phelan's quite a talent as a switch hitting shortstop. And hit 346 for the Irish last year.
And he hasn't picked up a baseball since last May. And at that time he was going to football spring practice and baseball at the same time.
Dean Lytle now at fullback. And Travis Davis gets the ball. And Davis twisting Robert Farmer. He's a 215-pounder from Bolingbrook, Illinois. He rushed for over 1,500 yards as a freshman and 20 touchdowns, or as a senior in high school, and 20 touchdowns. And timeout called by Notre Dame. And Lou not happy with their being better organized. This is a time when a coach, when he has a 27-12 lead and 5.5 to go, to make his coaching point. So this may seem extraordinarily upset for this time and stage of the game, but he's coaching for next week against Michigan.
You're absolutely right. This is when you talk the loudest. We saw on the sideline in the first half, very quiet. And down on his haunches on the sideline, talking privately to the players. And now, yeah, you're right. 15-1 lead.
Wolverines in Ann Arbor next weekend for the Wolves of the Irish, and then 2 weeks from today we'll be here between Michigan State and Notre there to crash into the ball carrier.
Robert Warren came out of his stance too early.
I guess Lytle did get the ball, but there seemed to be a confusion on the play.
Illegal motion, offense, penalty declined, 4th down.
So on 4th and 4, you see starting quarterback Kevin McDougal icing that left hand, and that may explain why Fela is playing here in the 4th.
Although Dick, college program, kid has had a pretty good game at quarterback, and he's icing it by himself. It was serious. He had 3 trainers and 2 doctors around that hand.
Issendana has not had a chance to return a punt today. He's either had the fair catch or they kicked away from him. Rob Leonard. And another fair catch. At the 10-yard line. 39-yard punt for Leonard. Lou Holtz. Look at that picture. That's from out of his den. He said, that's been up there a long time. No one asked me who the other fellow was. That was now President Bill Clinton when he was the Attorney General of the state of Arkansas. And Lou Holtz employed him as an attorney for a case that had been filed involving his letting go some ball players at the University of Arkansas.
Proves that Lou has coached a long time.
Coaching right through another presidency.
Yes.
Len Williams. He's okay. He's in the bag. To the top of the goes out of bounds at the 21. And suddenly a rash of penalties against Northwestern, and here another for holding.
78. He got the call.
But you know, Dick, as much as this team throws the football, you're going to have a lot of penalties like that. They're at the line of scrimmage. You've got to get information to people out that spread out all over the place. You're putting, say, 78 on Hamilton. Whoa. Just turned him around. That was on Bryant Young. 78 with Cardis.
Brian Cardis, the sophomore, and up high around the shoulders and pull him away.
This is the byproduct of this kind of offense. You're going to have a lot of penalties like that.
And instead of a first down at the 21, it's marked back to the 4-yard line. Little Patrick Wright ducks into the backfield. The 6-yard line. And McGee, the extra defensive back, and 90 Brian Hamilton in on the stop. Well, to Northwestern's credit, their belief system is building, and at 27-12 with 4.5 minutes to go in the game, respectability certainly has to be applauded as well. And they've gone on the number, well, Notre Dame ranked from 4th to 7th in the various polls. Home field, and
had the lead in the second half. Williams looking deep. For center, Bobby Taylor makes the interception at the 49-yard line. Flag goes down. Boy, that Taylor at 6'3", what a cornerback he is, only a sophomore.
Owner John McLeod was watching that leap in the air there.
They're going to call it against Taylor.
Against Notre Dame. Boy, that nullifies a great interception. Watch how high in the air he gets. Center 7 is they're calling that interference.
Played the ball all the way. That's a tough break on Taylor. That looked to be a very clean effort.
15 yards, penalty from the previous spot, automatic first down.
Holtz tossed his cap in the air when he saw that penalty.
They were both going for the football.
Literally. If it comes down, you're still in the game.
That was a great play by Bobby Taylor. That's too bad.
That's you send them to a higher league when they make those plays.
Absolutely.
Angles are everything. They're also making the call. I saw it differently. In trouble again, but breaks loose. And scrambles out to the 27-yard line, and he's a dimension that, but that's the price he goes with the dimension of running, as Williams writhing a bit as he comes back to his feet.
Hit by Brian Hamilton. You're right, eventually playing at this level, when you run around like that, quarterbacks get exposed to a lot of hits. There's the
Steve Schnurr is the backup, a sophomore from St. Louis, number 10. Did not play last year as a freshman.
They need Len Williams to stay healthy at quarterback. Almost in a 4-down area with 3:14 and ticking here.
Well, Len Williams has shown why he's a candidate for the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award. He's 20 for 29, Len Williams. 201 yards. 1 interception, not his fault. The first play of the game went through his receiver's hands for a touchdown for Notre Dame. Down the middle. Caught by Chris Gamble at the 50-yard line. First down. Gamble from Marietta, Georgia, 20-yard gain. He was a high school teammate of Patrick Wright, the little man, number 3. In fact, they've been buddies since 6th grade.
And Nick, you know, the coaching staff at Northwestern told us we want to spread the ball around. We don't want to just get it to our big gun, Gissendaner, all day long. Well, Gissendaner had 6 catches in the first half, and none so far in the second half.
Williams. Was his receiver, wouldn't have got it had Mike Centers caught it as he had slipped off the sidelines.
He's built very stocky.
6 feet, 215, but he was 230 as a freshman.
You watch the hit he takes here. I mean, this is a hit that most quarterbacks will go down from. Thomas Knight is no little guy. Throws well on the run. Good spiral. Just a little bit out of bounds intended for Centers.
2:27 left. It would be a meaningful score should Northwestern generate a final touchdown.
Or something good in this second half.
The first half was played without allowing an offensive score from Notre Dame. The defense played very well. Williams. There's nothing there as he tried to scramble through. Pinched in.
You see Williams now trying to make nothing but the big play. He had a receiver open out here in the flat. He chose not to go to him. He's trying to get the ball down the field as quickly as he possibly can. Injury on the field.
stop of Williams. And this sophomore 265-pounder from Jenison, Michigan, being attended. Late, Pete Bursich on the first play from scrimmage caught a rebound for a 21-yard touchdown. Northwestern unable to add the extra point after Lundy's touchdown catch from Williams, 7-6 at halftime. And then Lundy threw a big hole, 10-yard run after a fumble recovery inside the Notre Dame 20-yard line, gave Northwestern the lead 12-7. The Irish came right back to score on their next possession. Ray Zellers from 5 out to lead by 2. Then a couple of field goals by Pendergast, made it 17 and then 20-12. And then the Irish, after the fumble recovery deep in Northwestern's end, got a touchdown 2 yards out from Jeff Burris to lead 27-12. Williams over the middle, complete to Patrick White. And for the sidelines and gets the timeout and the first down at the 37 of the Irish. 1:47 left. 15 yards on that play, Bob.
I'm going to say they're now 2 of 5 on third down conversions in the second half. Northwestern was 6 of 9 in the first half.
Go, Cats! There have been a lot of loyal fans through the years and tough years, a couple of decades for Northwestern fans, but they've been the loyal group that goes to Dyke Stadium and cheers just as hard as they did back in the good years of the 40s and 50s, and you have a feeling they're going to have a lot to like this Northwestern football season. Lundy on the draw, breaking tackles and diving across the 25 for another first down, and Dennis Lundy over a 100-yard day for him, catching and running.
And Dick, if you're looking for more reason to support Northwestern, they were in this game until the second half, and the first play of the game went against them. And you can see that Barnett's coaching and teaching and selling job has worked, because a lot of teams could have quit that quickly. On the road against Notre Dame, they stayed with it, though.
Len Williams spends a timeout with 1:38 to go. Welcome back. Notre Dame leading, apparently a victory in hand, but Northwestern in striking position at the Irish 24-yard line with a minute and a half to go. Magnificent day, highlighting one of the country's great campuses. Beautiful, beautiful way to start this college football season. Perfect day. Len Williams, the gun again. Goes incomplete. Mike Centers, the intended receiver. Brings up 2nd and 10. Thanks to Rose Peterzak from Notre Dame, Barry Newman from Northwestern for their help here in the booth today.
Dick, I was going to mention that in the first half we were commenting that the Notre Dame football defensive coaches couldn't get the right defense. It wasn't personnel. They were playing around with the personnel. A tip of the cap to Rick Minner and his assistants on the defensive side of the ball. They figured it out, came with that 6th defensive back, got Bursich out of there, and have done an excellent job defensively here against Northwestern in the second half.
Williams calling a change in plays at the line of scrimmage. To the sidelines, short yardage to center.
Oh, he stayed in bounds. Don't want to do that. Get out of bounds.
Greg Lane made the tackle, and clock continues to tick. 1:19. 3rd and 8.
There's Rick Minner right there on the sideline.
Well, Notre Dame is a 28-point favorite and scored just 27 points against Northwestern. 27-12. Williams down the middle has the man open, and Gissendaner can't hold on, and that's a rare drop for him. He was in an awkward position, stopping short to go up to stab that one, but the ball was there.
And that would have been his first catch of the second half. He doesn't need those gloves, as good as his hands are. I guess they're just kind of a fashion statement more than anything else. This kid's going to wreak havoc through a lot of defenses in the Big Ten this year.
Well, they'll play at least 11 games, and even a 6 average would give him 66. Prorate that. It had 68 last season. 6 touchdowns catching the ball. 11th play of the drive. Williams on 4th and 8. And down he goes. He was trying to let Gissendaner get open. Took
the tackle. Well, it's a credit to Northwestern that Lou Holtz put in his first team defense on that potential scoring drive for Northwestern. So the first teamers do it. Turn over the ball at the 30-yard line, and Notre Dame takes over with 51 seconds left. And today's Chevrolet players of the game are Dennis Lundy from Northwestern and Bobby Taylor, the defensive back for Notre Dame. In conjunction with this program, Chevrolet contributes $2,000 to the National Association of Student Financial Aid Administrators for disbursement to deserving college students so that they may continue their education. To the first place, attempting the ball, and Randy Kinder does more than that as he spins out to the 50 to the 49 to Northwestern. Rodney Ray stops him after a 21-yard gain.
Dick, I think in looking back at this football game, what Lou Holtz has got at least an answer to one question, and that is, I think, Kevin, we've got an injury on the field here.
It's like William Bennett.
I think Kevin McDougal can handle this quarterback spot, handle it very well. I didn't see him make any real big mistakes today. And if there's the most positive thing for Notre Dame today, two things. One, they didn't panic. They stayed within themselves, did a good job. And two, it looks like Kevin McDougal can handle this spot and handle it very well.
Told us he loves to throw, and he hit two long ones, a 50 and a 42-yard pass to set up scores. As we remind you, this telecast is presented by authority of the University of Notre Dame, intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the University of Notre Dame is prohibited. Kinder, not only an outstanding freshman, it tells you something about your potential in the eyes of the coaches by the number you wear. As you look at Lynn Williams, Kinder wears number 25. Number 25 was last worn by Rocket Ismail. Ooh. So that's perhaps a sign of what the coaches think the potential of this young man is, and the fact that he was the first freshman running back to carry the ball in this new season. Got a chance in the first half. That bodes well for this East Lansing, Michigan first-year student.
He's big too. 6'1", 205 at just 18 years old.
Now this could be a very tough loss if it's serious for Northwestern. Their sophomore safety William Bennett helped off. From Tempe, Arizona. His uncle played in the Chicago area for the Bears. Remember tight end Bob Wallace, and he used to always kid about this kid from the desert area of Phoenix, Arizona, near the Arizona State campus, going back to play in Chicago. They always laugh, but there it is. Scholarship to Northwestern.
Yeah, first time he saw snow, it was in a Michigan game. He was standing in the huddle. He said, I've seen it on the ground, but I've never seen it fall. He said, I'm watching it fall out of my hands. I said, yeah, Michigan can catch up on you there. You're watching snow, they run over you.
So with 43 seconds left, first down Notre Dame at midfield. Phelan gives it to Kinder. Nothing there that time. Mike Warren, the linebacker from Antioch, Illinois, made the tackle. No hurry for the Irish here. They'll let that clock run to 30. Here's Bobby Taylor, 6'3" sophomore cornerback. Was called for interference, made a beautiful interception, but saved 3 touchdowns with his defensive work and a couple big plays the first half that could really give Northwestern had a couple touchdown lead. Final play apparently. So another freshman, Robert Farmer. And Farmer down at the 45 at game's end. Notre Dame 27, Northwestern 12. For Bob Trumpy and John Dockery, this is Dick Enberg saying so long from South Bend. This has been NBC Sports coverage of Notre Dame football.